Hey, welcome to your instructional video for the downstay. So I've decided to do this video outside, which I may regret, but I wanted to create a scenario where you could see me dealing with Boone when she's really distracted. So when we're indoors, she's been really good about when I say down and I use a hand signal down. I'm still bending over to get her to do it, but the goal is that we should be able to stand up and say down. You have seen me doing this with her where I tell her down and I make her hold it while I proof, while I try to create excitement or distraction or whatever. That is about impulse control, and that is something that we always want to work on. That is one thing. But the other thing, and I would argue the more important thing, is that this is an on-leash command. And so we really want to focus on her understanding the leash cue. And the leash cue is pressure on the back of her neck. So what that means is that when she is in a down, if she starts to move, we want her to feel pressure because our foot's on the leash. Feel pressure and know that that means lay back down. Lay back down. So we want to use leash pressure as part of her instruction and part of her practice. I'm going to show you that in a second. But as I was saying, I come out here because while she understands the down command, her compliance out here is really, really low right now. That is not a surprise. I mean, never mind dogs or people passing by. The slightest, wave of grass in a breeze gets her. She sees bugs and gnats. She sees everything. So she is so tuned in when her prey drive and she's scanning and looking and whatnot. Her brain cannot even process what we're telling her. So it's not that she's being stubborn or defiant. It's that her brain is so locked into whatever it is that's out here in the atmosphere. Her prey drive is so kicked in that bringing her brain away is a much harder thing to do. That's why hunting dogs need e-collars, because once they're in the game, once they're on the job and their prey drive is being utilized, which is a beautiful thing. Once their prey drive is being utilized, sometimes to get their attention, you need a really strong signal. For her, that's the same thing. Now, I could probably do downstays with Daisy all day. She's a little bit resistant at first, but once you put her in a down, she gets it. She doesn't have the prey drive. There are plenty of dogs who you can sit across a room and go down, and they'll go down and they'll stay there if you practice it enough with them. That is not the case with Boone. And that's because of who she is. So let's work with who she is. Let's respect her instinct and work with it and learn how to use the leash as a tool that helps get her attention when she's otherwise engaged, right? Now, the practice that you have seen me do on other videos where she lays down and I move around and proof and do all those things, that really is just to strengthen the impulse control muscle. It's like when we go to a gym and we're doing weights and all these things. That has no value. That activity is really just a gym activity, right? We're not out in the world picking up things and doing curls or doing shoulder presses or whatever. It's a gym activity. Well, likewise, that stay down while I walk around, that's a practice activity, not a real world activity. So the real world activity always takes place on a leash. So I'm going to show you the two just to be able to more easily differentiate. When you have time, do a downstay here and there in the house. Don't sweat it a whole lot. Most of the practice that you should do is putting her on leash. If she's off leash and you want to do it down, go ahead. Have at it. Have fun. But really, when you want to focus in and work it, she's on leash all the time. So let's start with this. Let me show you. So Daisy is just off camera here. And then, of course, there's the world. Now, she understands the down command, so I'm not giving her treats anymore when she goes down. She only gets a reward. Sometimes it's a treat. Sometimes it's just affection after the break. Now, I want you to imagine you're at Lowe's and you've got Boone with you. You want to stop and talk to somebody about something, mixing paint. You don't have to constantly be doing this and come here and come here and come here. You want to be able to say, Boone, down. And Boone knows that that means it's her job now. She's on the job, and it is to lay down and remain put. until you say otherwise. Or you're at a restaurant and you want to just have a drink, or you're eating and you don't want to be managing. Down. She knows it's her job when you say down to lay down and hold it. And that is a job because it requires focus and impulse control for a dog. You're going to be helping her with it though, because every time you put her in a down, I do this, I don't care who the dog is, how well trained, how mature they are. I always use my foot and the leash when I'm out in public, always, without exception. Because the foot on the leash is the best way to start building that cue of pressure on the back of her neck. Let me show you. So put the leash on every time you're going to practice. Now, when I say a command, say it no more than twice. I'll say it once and I'll pause. I'll give a dog a chance. And then if I say it the second time, I am going to make sure that it happens using the leash. Let me show you what I mean. Now I'm going to go ahead, just because it's good preparation, it's less clumsy. Drop the leash to the ground, put my foot on it. It's still loose here. She doesn't feel any pressure. So let's see what we get. Boone. Oh, remember, we never say sit before we say down. It's always straight. If she sits on her own, that's fine. Boone. Boone, down. So I'm going to give her a minute. Not a minute, actually. I'm going to give her about 10 seconds. Now, I'm going to say it again, but this time I'm going to use the leash. Boone, down. Yes. Yes. Now, when she lays down, she takes the pressure off the leash. When I stepped on the leash, you saw that I pulled it through, made it tighter, and I stepped on it so that she felt pressure on the back of her neck. Right now, she feels zero pressure. But if she tries to pop up, she's going to feel pressure. Here we go. Daisy's just scratching herself. So when she stands up, now she feels pressure on her neck. And she will reset. And I don't have to do anything. So imagine that if I were sitting in a restaurant, how much nicer that would be than having to constantly say, boot down, boot down, boot down. I don't have to say anything. I let the leash do the work. So now we break. Good girl. Now she gets a treat. Good girl. Good girl. And now let's see if we do it again. Again, drop the leash, put my foot on it, because who knows? Booney, down. Daisy's over here laying down off. There, oh, she's back up. Boone, down. Pressure on leash. I still point. Get her off my foot. So she's looking across the street where there are birds. I'm holding it tight. Now I can tap my toe. Tap, tap, there we go. So I gave her an extra tap on the back of the neck. I could have touched her back. I could have pointed. I could have done any number of things that might have helped her. This is about helping her comply. So you barely touch her back and she'll do it. So right now, once again, she's feeling no pressure on the leash. But if she pops up, she will. And when I reset here, on cue, if I reset her, here we go. I don't say the word. I just reset. I can point. I can put a touch on her back. That's easy. Yes. Leash is loose again. So what we're doing, when I have her out here, this is a lot of distraction for her. Like just off here, there are some doves fiddling around in the sand off in my yard, which she was really cued in on before, and right now she's a little better. So I step off, move away a bit. Normally when I reach into my pocket for treats, she pops up. And she didn't. Now, break. Good girl. You can put treats on the ground and reset her over and over again. Let's do that just once. Come here, booby. You ready? Foot on the leash. No pressure yet. Boom, down. As if she's never heard the word before, right? Give her a second. Boom, down. Make it tighter. A little touch on the back. Yeah. Nice, yes. Now, I can leave my foot on the leash or I can take it off. I'm going to take it off. We'll put a treat over there. This is impulse control. And she is not demonstrating it. Yes. So the treat's right here. I don't know if you can see it. So pressure on the leash. Let me move around where you can see it. So the treat's about, I don't know, 2.5 feet from us. Make the leash tighter, because I don't say the word again. Touch her back. Literally just touching her back, not pushing her. Sorry, I'm trying to get where you can see it. Give her a point, give her a touch on the back, give her a toe tap, tap, tap. She's particularly bothered because Daisy's trying to get to it, but Daisy can't get to it either. But this is, So if you can't really see Daisy, but Daisy's about 1 foot from the treat and cannot reach it. So I've added all kinds of control. And now I step again. That's Daisy. So you see how many times I'm willing to redo it. So the treat is right here. You can barely see Daisy over here. But Daisy being so close to the treat is a tremendous temptation. Now you saw how many times I just repeated that. Break! Good girl. Here, Daisy. Good girl. Okay. So that is impulse control practice. But it is also helping her start to understand what the leash pressure means. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this for fun with both dogs. I don't recommend taking both dogs in public and trying to work on this, but here we go. All right. Welcome to the circus. So here I am sitting in public. Let's pull this up a little bit. Here we go. All right, here's my crazy dogs. So we want to, Daisy. Same deal with Daisy. I'm not sure how she was trained, but Daisy, down. I start with Daisy because I trust her compliance more. Now, my foot stays on Daisy's leash. This foot is applying no pressure to Daisy's neck, but it will if she pops up. Boone, down. I am stepping on Boone right now. I'm putting pressure on because she's overexcited and we've got Daisy here, so I'm stepping right away. I said it once, I'll say it no more than twice. But right now, I am content to sit and wait it out for a second and let her figure it out. One finger. Snap and point. Yes. Yes. I'm not giving anybody treats. I have my feet on both leashes. Both dogs have plenty of slack. In fact, Daisy's laying on her leash, right? So both feet are on a leash. So I just sit back, and if something happens, which I'm sure it will soon when she notices those birds again, but if something happens, I have autocorrect because of my feet and the leashes. So let's throw something. Let me throw a treat. Okay. She's bird watching. Throw a treat. Daisy's up. Boone is up. Pressure on the leash. Well, Boone's not up. Look at that. Pressure on the leash. I don't say anything to Daisy. Good girl. So I just chunked a treat over there, which made Daisy get up. Boone, I guess, got distracted by the itch. But Boone has noticed birds over there. She's now getting used to this. She is a much more tactile learner. Oh, here we go. So here's Daisy. I'm just going to tap my toe, and we'll see what Daisy does. Look at Daisy putting on a show. Put a little pressure on Daisy's back. Here we go. Bugs. So, am I rushing to make them stay down? No, I'm letting them contend with the pressure on their neck. Yes. So Daisy's interest in the treat, Boone's interest in the bugs, tapping my toe to get Boone's attention, putting a little touch on her back, good. So you see how both of them went back down and I never had to say anything to them. That's the goal. So the more you practice this, I mean, go out to a park and sit. I would suggest you do one dog at a time. Bump, bump, tapping on Daisy. I'm gonna let Daisy stand here in this awkward position and figure it out. I might snap and give her a point. Now this is stubborn. This is prey drive. Two very different things. But do I get frustrated at Daisy? No. My job is to let Daisy know that I'm the human. I'm not gonna quit. And the best way for me to not quit is to make sure I am comfortable. I am really comfortable sitting here. I'm just tapping my toe, giving Daisy the back of the neck signal, which she has really not worked on, I might add. You can see how Boone is getting better with it. Now Boone is rolling around. I wish you could see the birds over here. You might be able to hear them. Daisy. So I'm saying Daisy's name, but I'm not saying the command. Yes. So Daisy can use a little auditory cue from time to time, but here we go. So why would I take my feet off the leashes? Why would I even do that? I'm just sitting here. This way, they're comfortable. Neither one has pressure. Neither one has pressure. There you go. Neither one has any discomfort, but if they start to get up, they get the back of the neck signal. And if I need to make it just a little tighter, then I will, or I'll tap my toe, or I'll give them some other signal. This, you can imagine that if you can do this out in public, how easy it is to start taking them places with you. You get leash manners in order, you do this, and you can go anywhere you want to and be able to sit and relax and not be constantly managing. So this is what the downstay should look like. When you're practicing at home, you want to continually add challenge. Start by doing this very exercise in your home. Then take this very exercise out away, like, well, I guess where you live, whether you're in the back or the front of the house, you have a lot of stimulation. But start in the home, then go outside and sit outside in the yard or out back looking at the water. Wherever you know there's going to be some kind of commotion. And just build up your skills and their skills for those kinds of things. Because you can see now, they're both pretty chill. Alrighty. Break. Good girls. Good girls. Very nice, you ladies.